videoing? Okay, perfect. We're going to start by playing a game. We're going to play Put a Finger Down. Now I'd like everyone to raise one of their hands, and if you know how to play, great. If you don't, it's in the name, and you're going to put a finger down if the statement that I say applies to you. Put a finger down if you've ever used an emoji to help convey your tone of voice through a text message. Put a finger down if you've ever texted someone in the same room as you. Put a finger down if you've used a post to announce something, like what time a sports game is or what college you're going to. Put a finger down if you've caught yourself checking your phone in the middle of a conversation. And put a finger down if you've texted someone to avoid actually talking to them in person. Now, while all of you may or may not relate to one or all of these statements, they all have something in common, and that's their use of technology. Technology has become a key component in our world today, and it's seen in almost everything. Yet is this helpful or harmful towards us? Today, I want people to realize the impact that screens are taking on oneself and their relationships with those around them. We will be discussing the mainstreaming of technology over the past 25 years and how screens have affected us each individually. But first, we're going to go back 25 years ago. It was December 31st of 1999, and people thought that the world would end once the clock struck midnight. In case you're not aware, this didn't happen, and instead, technology took off. Over the past 25 years, technology has become an interest transformed into an integral part of today's society. With the increase of technology and internet, smartphones, and social media, they have become an integral part of daily life. With the rise of internet and smartphones, it has reshaped how people connect with the world and people around them. The spread of internet, followed by the rise of social media such as Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok, has created a digital ecosystem that is now deeply embedded in today's society. Data Portal states that 5.2 billion people are social media users. This is 63.8% of the whole world's population. This digital revolution not only has transformed how we communicate with one another, find information, and entertain ourselves, but instead led to an attachment to social media. The National Institute of Health states that the prevalence of social media addictions among users is 36.9%. That's more addictive than alcohol. Users create a sense of identity and self-worth and community in using, and it influences everything from cultures to mental health to societal norms. The constant exposure given by these technologies has created an ecosystem where individuals constantly judge themselves based off of likes, shares, and technological validation. Help Guide states that multiple studies have found a strong link between heavy social media usage and increased risks in depression and anxiety. We see loneliness, self-harm, and even suicidal thoughts. Yet this is just the beginning of the effects that technology is having on us. The presence of screens have had a major impact on both adults and children, impacting emotional and social development. Children's constant use of screens has been linked to a rise in conditions like ADHD, and studies suggest that the use of digital content can hinder attention spans, making it harder for kids to focus on tasks at hand for long periods of time. This has affected both communication and relationship skills, as face-to-face interactions have shifted to technological interactions through text messages and social media. This has resulted in an inability to read social and emotional cues, decipher body language, and create empathy with those around them. On a psychological level, the constant exposure to screens has created feelings of jealousy and comparison, resulting in an increased risk of anxiety and depression, especially in teens. Johns Hopkins Medicine says that babies as young as 4 months old are being exposed to this digital media. This overuse in screens in childhood creates an inability for them to use their creativity and imagination, as the open-ended play that was once used for hours upon end has been replaced with the use of screens. This are not just random facts and statistics, but instead real problems with real people and real experiences. I've seen many of screen addictions in my life, from watching families at restaurants to sitting on their phones in silence and not talking with one another, to my younger brother, Jarrett, spent hours upon hours on his Oculus, swinging aimlessly at the air. Yet there's one example that stands above the rest. My dad has a friend who has a 12-year-old son who's so addicted to his iPad. Now you may think that this is just a couple hours of scrolling, playing games. He will start having a panic attack and shaking if he doesn't have his iPad for 20 minutes. Now I tell you this to hopefully help you come to the realization that screens may not be as innocent as they seem. Let's not disregard this problem, but instead open our eyes to the realization that technology will have on our future generations. Today we've become aware of the technology and how it has become so mainstream in the past 25 years. We've broken down the effects of social media that we have on ourselves. And with this, we can understand the technology or the impact of technology on our lives and social structures. Moving forward, it is going to be essential to find a balance between benefits of technology and how we can preserve our connections with the people around us. We need to foster the sense of well-being that is so important for self and community. So let's put the screens down and have real meaningful conversations with one another so that we can avoid becoming social media dependent, emotionally unavailable robots.